Ladies and gentlemen, Method Man. Yeah, dude. Good to see you, bro.
What's up with you?
Ah, dude, I've been doing so well. I want you to meet my co-host Scott Randolph right here.
What's up, Meth?
Up at the front of the van, we've got the gorgeous Paul Brisske,
Hey, man, how are you? Nice to meet you.
and this right here is my life partner Wendy.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, dude, thank you. I found her in the streets of Peru.
Wow, and brought her all the way here. So we got an immigrant, even better.
Yeah, South American stray dog, dude. She's the best.
Very nice.
So, am I correct? I'm sure I am, dude. I've not seen you since that incident in 2006 at Rock the Bells.
Yeah, it might have been that.
Yeah.
You're just going right out the gate with it.
Well, I mean, what do you want? It's a notable thing that happened.
I like
you know?
it.
It was. I mean, I've told that story a couple times recently. I told it to Eric Andre on the podcast we had him on, and I guess I only told it that once. Yeah. But
Well, Eric is the kind of guy that would have tried to pull something like that too, but Eric would have got beat up. We don't know Eric like we know you, Steve.
Right. I mean, dude, I literally like, I don't know. I felt like kind of traumatized by that, and not even traumatized, but like traumatized by feeling guilty. You know, like I've never for all my crazy antics, for all the stuff I do, I've never been the guy who tried to offend people or upset people. You know, like I've always done my shit like at my own expense. You know, like I'm the butt of the joke, and I'm like. You know, like I don't do like mean or offensive shit. So yeah, that didn't sit well with me. And I remember bumping into RZA at some point after that. I saw him somewhere, and I was like, "Hey, man, dude, like, you know, yeah, I want to acknowledge that, dude. I want to try and make it right." And RZA was like, "Dude, I didn't care." You know, like,
Yeah, because RZA knows your heart. He knew that it wasn't done in an offensive manner, but at that moment in time and that space, with Dirty's mother being there and things of that nature. Because even I didn't really think, because you told me you was going to do it, and I was like, Steve, if you're going to do that, okay. I mean, But in the space that it happened in, I wasn't offended by it until Chef brought it to my eyes that the people who were present may be offended by it.
right.
See, I'm in show mode. So when that was brought to my attention, it hit me like, oh.
Right.
Wow. And I'm pretty sure it hit you like that too. Probably like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't think of that part of it. You know what I mean? And that's how I basically took it. And I think a lot of the other members probably took it that way too. But some was genuinely freaking pissed.
Right. Yeah, for sure, man. And boy, Raekwon turned me into a real sissy real fast.
I've seen them do that before the other people. So
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is, bro.
Steve,
Yeah.
real quick, for anyone who didn't see the Eric Andre episode, like, what are you guys talking about? What happened?
That's a fair question. So it was 2006. It was a big Rock the Bells festival. It was headlined by Wu-Tang. They had all kinds of great acts, but Wu-Tang was last. I was there all day just getting sloppy drunk. I'm hanging out with Method Man like in the back, and I'm telling Method Man, yo, when I was locked up in LA correctional facility in the Twin Towers, they took me out of my cell, and I was hanging out with the cops in there, and they said, yo, dude, you're in ODB's cell. He's always in here. And I was like, man, that just made me feel like I love ODB, and we were like cellmates, man. I want to do something on stage at the show to like as a tribute to ODB. I think he'd love it. I'm gonna get butt naked. I'm gonna flip my balls back and forth and catch him.
Angina. Tell it like you told me.
Yeah.
You told me it was a angina, and I've never heard anything like that before in my life.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip my balls and dick back and forth. I'm gonna catch in a mangina, and while I'm standing there with my mangina, then I'm gonna do a perfect backflip, dude, it actually ended up being the best double backflip I ever landed. I never landed one that clean in my life. But yeah, so and at first it was all like kind of fun and games. We were joking around backstage, like, oh man, that's funny. And then Method Man came up to me a little while later before they went on.
Like, he
says, you can't do it, dude. He says, they're going to kick your ass. And I said, let him kick my ass, man. ODB would probably love that. And
Okay.
Drunk, yeah. This is probably during the PCP days, right?
Right, and then it's like so many things, dude. It's like, oh yeah, let that, and then when it actually happens, I'm like, I'm sorry.
And this was on stage.
Oh yeah, dude. So I did it. OD, like Method Man said, ODB's mom was there. Like it was this like tribute to him, and I grabbed the mic, I do my thing, and like dude. And it was actually kind of, nobody seemed that upset at first. And then they played like Shimmy Ya and Brooklyn Zoo, and it was like we're all having a good time. But then all of a sudden, like Raekwon just grabs me by the neck with both hands, and he's like, "Yo, you're gonna apologize, man. That was disrespectful."
On
And,
the mic?
Oh yeah, He said, "I
Stop
would."
the music! Stop the music!
Yeah,
Stop the music to grab you by the neck.
grab me
Now
by the.
that I have your attention, it was a like an assembly moment when the principal walks into the room, and because all the students are being too rowdy, and he steps up on stage and says something like, "We don't do that here at McKenna High School." You guys know it. Steve, sit your ass down before I call your mom. We know her. She's been here a few times. But damn the LAPD for that, man. Talking about this is dirty cell. What kind of fucking harassment shit is that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They listed off. They said.
Who else was that?
They said what this is. We call this Robert Downey Jr. block because I was in protective custody.
See that's so fucking tacky right there. I mean. Go ahead.
No, hey man, it's all good, dude. I'm not disagreeing with you. They said it's like a Robert Downey Jr. block. This is where all the celebrities come. It's protective custody, so nobody gets like our high profile inmates. They're like, we had Tommy Lee, Robert Downey Jr. Like ODB's always in here. They said you're in his hell. Yeah, And I didn't even, honestly, I just thought I felt honored to be in ODB's cell.
See, in the mental game, it is that they're proud that they had these, and this is some of these celebrities' lowest freaking moments that who've been rehabilitated, by the way, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Rehabilitated, by the way. So for them to still have those, that is just terrible, man.
Yeah, they're probably in their jail cell. Like, can I get a selfie with you, dude?
Oh, dude, like the cops were. I just got my back tattoo, but the movie wasn't out yet, so nobody knew about it. And the cops were all taking pictures with my back tattoo
In jail.
Yeah, in their office. They took me out of my cell, like into their office.
Thought that was cool as hell, right?
I did. I was like, man,
it would have been cooler if they would have let your ass go.
For sure.
Well, dude,
not for nothing, I'm not putting anybody on blast, but when I was in Miami one time, and I'm keeping it a buck, this is 100. I was going to my little apartment I was staying in, and you know how those alleyways go into the garage. So I'm in the alleyway. As soon as I turned in there, whoop, whoop, they was on me. Plain car, 2 uniformed officers. White officer gets out, no lie, tells me get out the car. I don't know why he's telling me get out the car. Hasn't asked me a question or anything. I get out the car. He starts to ask me questions, and as he's searching me, I got in my pocket, tree, whatever. He touches it. The other cop gets out and says, "Method Man," black cop. And I'm 100, I'm keeping it 100. Says, "Method Man," looks at his partner and says, nah, leave him alone, let him go. I shit you not, in Miami.
Damn.
I ain't even from Miami, but that's cool shit right there. Instead of naming a damn cell block after Robert Downey Jr., who's a pillar of his community.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I had an arrest warrant out on me for 7 years because I got.
No ass deserved to go to jail then.
Well, right.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. It was like a traffic stop, and I had expired tags, and so I couldn't renew my license or all this shit. So yeah, I had no insurance, and so the cop. So the cop was like, this is a criminal deal, and so I'm giving you this appear in court thing. It means you're actually arrested. But I never went to court, so I ended up with a warrant. I had a warrant out for like 7 years. One night I was walking down the sidewalk, all drunk, all wasted, and these cops saw me. They said, "Yo, dude, let's get a picture with you. Yo, Steve-O, what's up?" And I was like, "Oh man," and I'm all drunk. I just blurt out, "Yo, I think I have a warrant out for my arrest." And then I'm like, "Why did I say that? Like, why did I fucking say that?" And the cops go, "Oh, dude, what's your name, man? Like, what's your real name? We'll look it up." And I was like, "Well, if you look it up and I have a warrant, doesn't that mean you have to take me to jail?" And they say, "Fuck no. What's your name?" And I told them my real name, Stephen Glover. They look it up and they said, "Yeah, you're hot for 10 G's. And fucking, they're like, "Have a good one, man." Right on. And I just walked on.
Nice. Very nice.
I mean, was that the same time that they posed with you holding the bag of weed?
No, but I had a warrant out for my arrest when I was posing with a bag of weed with the cops.
Jesus, dude. How's that? I mean, like, how's that fair?
I don't know. I don't know that it is fair.
What was your history with the Wu-Tang before that event?
But we had Method Man on Wildboyz with us, which was such a huge honor.
Yeah.
There was another time when you were here for it was like the night before, like I don't know, maybe the BET Awards, and I think it was that because at the hotel I went to go hang with Method Man.
Oh yeah.
So you guys were tight.
I mean, I don't know if it was how tight we were, but to me, he was just always a bro, you know? Method Man was always just so cool to me. And so I met up with Method Man at his hotel. And I remember you were tripping too because you were like, dude, here in California, you can just go to a store and buy weed. It's like, you know, now New York always had it dialed though, because even though it was illegal in New York, they had like the delivery system. You know, some guy shows up on a bicycle and gives you like good ass weed, but it wasn't legal, you know? Here in LA, he said, and Meth's like, yo, dude, I just went to a store and bought this. Like, this is insane. And he's rolling up a blunt. I forget what he had some funny thing about how you were the master of rolling blunts, like something. Yeah, and then so we're smoking this blunt, and all of a sudden I'm like, yo, dude, fucking, hey, Meth, fucking throw the blunt across your hotel room. I'll catch it in my mouth. so he threw, and Method Man's got a big old hotel room. He throws this lit blunt across the room, and I gotta catch it, right? But I catch it the wrong way, so I got I catch the burning end in my lips. But I don't care. I'm not gonna drop this thing, man. This is my shot. so I catch it. I catch it, and it just straight burns my lip. And I'm like, yo, dude, do I look like I have herpes?
You remember that, Meth?
Yes, I do. That's facts. He wanted to catch a blunt in his mouth and shit. Did you tape that, Steve?
Mm-hmm. I have the footage, and I've still never done anything with it.
He caught that motherfucker, though. He caught that son of a bitch. He caught it. He caught it right.
It was, I forget how we even filmed it, man. But yeah, dude, you've always been so good to me, man. I appreciate you so much, dude. And congratulations on everything, man. Like,
thank you. I'm working, man. You know, who would have thought, right?
Right, dude. Me too.
Who peaks at 50? What the fuck is that?
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Tell me about it, man. Like, I literally, honestly, and I have this one buddy of mine who's like a sober guy, and we do our whole, you know, sober nerd thing.
Yeah.
And he's been telling me for years, he's like, you know, there's been certain times I'm like kind of down in the dumps. I'm like, man, dude, like, and he says, dude, Steve, you haven't even peaked yet. And I'm like, I don't know, dude, I don't know. And then like, he's been telling me for years and years, you haven't even peaked yet. And then at a certain point, like I think about a year ago, I was like, damn, that motherfucker's right. I haven't even peaked yet.
Hey, and that's a real thing right there, man. That's why that old adage, if I knew back then what I know now, you know, because the clock is shorter now than it was back then. And all this knowledge that we have, if we just would have freaking listened back then instead of just talking and reacting so much, you know, it would have been way different, way different. I'd probably be a billionaire right now.
What were the big lessons that you have learned?
Save your money was the first lesson.
Save your money. Pay taxes.
Save your money. Yeah, save your money, man. And when you find your niche, stick with it and run with it until the wheels fall off, especially if it makes you happy, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, Meth, I wanted to ask you, because I was reading some interviews that you were doing. You said, you know, when you were blowing up, there's a part in there where you said you were eating rice with ketchup on it because you had no money. So
yeah, I love rice with ketchup on it.
Steve eats that now. But so you start blowing up, right? What's the first thing you buy with a big check?
A bigger bag of rice and more ketchup.
Yeah, the fancy
great.
ketchup.
I love that.
Oh man, yeah. You know, I think too about the whole like we're getting older and we're doing great. Like getting old is a motherfucker, but damn, if you can get better as you get older, you know, like because with age comes wisdom, with experience comes skill. So you get better at what you do. You know how to like apply your time and apply yourself better. So like it really takes the sting out of getting old when you're fucking coming up. You know, still coming up.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that you make a lot of mistakes on the way there.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have a moral compass, and I like to believe the majority of the people in this world do, you want to do better, you know?
Yeah.
Why when we go to the movies, we love to see a happy ending because that's what we all want. At the end of the day, a happy ending. We just want to win, you know? Smile at the beginning of the day and go to sleep with that same smile every night, you know? And when we get to that age where we can appreciate things more, that smile comes a lot more often, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure,
That's
man.
cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, were you always?
Inspirational words from Method Man.
I love that.
10 years ago, this would have never happened. Jeez.
Yeah, dude.
Were you always working out and taking care of your body like you are now? Yeah,
No,
you have the Tacalian.
No, absolutely not. I was off and on, you know, and that a lot of that had to do with, you know, me knowing and wanting more for myself, knowing that I could be better than what I was, and then falling back into I'll do it tomorrow, procrastinating.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's
So now you're the real Tacalian stallion.
What? Huh?
Now you're the real Tacalian stallion.
Well, I was the real Italian stallion back then, but hey, there's always room for improvement. I love that part about it. Always room for improvement.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude. So these Wu-Tang shows, you just had two of them, and one of them was like actors playing you guys, where it's scripted, and then the other one was like straight documentary stuff.
Yeah.
And like they basically came out at the same time. And
Yeah.
And so that's like, I mean, full on Wu-Tang Clan heyday, like, you know, fully. I mean,
Well, a lot of that has to do with RZA. You know, he's like one of the smartest people I know on this planet, and I know some smart people, man. And it was the 25th anniversary. What else could we do?
right.
And I'm glad that everything came to fruition. And yeah, man, people learned some new things about us, some things that are actual factual. And when you view the Hulu series, just take it with a grain of salt because it's based.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I like that. And then now, let's talk about what you're promoting, like actively. You got your movie on Netflix.
Yeah. Concrete Cowboys is coming up.
Yeah.
Produced by Ricky Staub. He's the director, writer, and stars Idris Elba and Caleb I hope I say his last name. Stranger Days. Caleb.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I've seen the movie, and it's a great movie. Byron Bowers, Lorraine Toussaint, who's brilliant. I love her. And you know, I spent about 4 or 5 weeks shooting in West Philadelphia, and I had no idea that there were horses that close to the hood. You know, actually, you dig? Like you got your projects and whatever over here, and then a block away there's horses and stables and people that care for these horses, and there's a lot of love and knowledge and things and history down there that I had no idea about, man. Love it. So if you can catch Concrete Cowboys, it's going to be on Netflix April 2nd, I believe.
Oh, nice. And did you shoot that during COVID? Like,
No, that was way before COVID.
oh, cool.
Thank goodness. Also, shout out to there was a young girl there, Nyla, who would come out to set every day. She was one of the local people's daughter. Used to bring a smile to my face every day, man. Very beautiful soul, young lady. She passed away last year. Yeah, she passed away last year. Broke my heart. But this movie, I think, should be dedicated to her because of all the light and love that she brought to that set every day, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's great, man.
Do you have a favorite movie that you've worked on in the past? I mean, it's you got Belly, you have Cobbler, you have 187, you have How High. I mean, Garden State. Who here saw a titty?
I think all of them, because everybody was very patient with me. And what I mean by that is they figured I would show up with a big ass entourage, which I never do. I was green with the acting chops, but they worked with me anyway. And trusted my decisions on camera. So I'll say all of them because everybody got me to where I am right now. You know, as dedicated as I am to the craft. And, you know, I'm ready to show the world what I can do now more than ever.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
And so you got Power Book 2.
Yeah.
And when's that? That's coming out on Stars.
Yes, we already completed the first season. So if you don't have the Stars app, you should go get that. If you can't afford it, you should go get it anyway. And, you know, check out that first season because the second season's coming up real fast. And we're already about 3-4 episodes in as far as filming, and it's getting interesting and very hot.
Yeah. And so you're working with 50 on that.
Yes, sir. 50 Cent is an executive producer as well as Courtney Kemp, and a few other people. But I applaud them for even giving me my shot to step outside my comfort zone, so to speak, because I've never done anything lawyerly, or I've only had to use lawyers and never become one.
That's great,
That's
man.
cool.
It sounds like I hear a lot of respect for acting, for the craft.
Yeah,
You've been
absolutely.
doing movies forever.
I mean, when I mean, even when Michael Jordan left basketball to go play baseball, and there were a lot of skeptics.
Sure.
But Mike, if you spoke to Mike's teammates, they told you how dedicated he was, how he showed up to practice, how he did everything that was asked of him to do, regardless to how the skeptics felt. And that's the kind of route that I took with the acting. I did the work. I got my feet wet. I dedicated myself to it. And now I want to reap the benefits of being diligent in my practices. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Wordplay I just used there? That was
Yeah. I like that, man. I did the same thing with comedy. I come out of Jackass and I'm doing stand-up comedy, and people are like, man, come on, dude. We don't want to see Steve-O doing stand-up. But I did the work, man. And I brought my own, original, approach to it. I didn't try to copy anybody. I did it my way, and it turned into something pretty special now.
Steve, I'm saying, comedians draw off their real life experiences. That's what was so beautiful about Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Talking about growing up in a house of leisure, so to speak.
Right.
Your life has, hey, bro, come on, man. You could do a 3-day comedy special, bro, and not stop. Some of the shit you've been through, actual shit. Like, I woke up with a fucking bottle rocket in my ass. And it's like, people laugh at the shit, but because it actually happened.
For sure. And that's why I took my comedy is now I do multimedia comedy. So I'm doing stand-up, I'm doing an act, but when I'm talking about shit, when I'm telling jokes, when my story's playing out, I got the footage edited into it.
Wow.
So
that's dope. Only time I've seen that before was Mike Tyson when he did his
Undisputed Truth.
Thing.
Right.
Dope.
Yeah,
so that's excellent. I would love to catch a show.
Oh, dude, right on, man. I can send I can send you a link to this last one. I put it out on my own, dude, and it worked really well for me, man. I don't know if you ever saw where I duct taped myself to the billboard to promote it, but that's another one I got away with. The cops let me go.
Yeah, they're taking selfies while you're up there.
Yeah. So we talked about Power, and that's Stars. You're just a few episodes into filming Power Book 2, but it's not out yet, season 2.
No, it's not out yet. We're filming right now. But the whole cast, we had to film during the pandemic because we owed 2 episodes. And it's weird because the whole time we filmed, no breakouts, no cases. I think maybe one. And that was at a table read when this thing first hit and nobody knew how to, you know what I mean? And we were all at a table read and whatever. But since then, I mean, I take my hat off to the people at the studio that we film at. I'm not at liberty to say where, but at the studio we film at, take my hat off to those guys because they've taken every precaution possible to keep the cast, and not just the cast, but the crew and everyone who works there safe. We haven't had any breakouts whatsoever since we wrapped on the first season, and since we started the second season. None.
Right.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we've been getting away with it too, filming Jackass.
Nice.
You know, we're making a Jackass 4. our old
Is Spike on board?
Yeah, you bet, man. I'm working with Spike today.
Nice. Give him my love, man. I would love for him to do a video for me, man.
Oh, dude, for sure, man.
His vision is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Dude,
Spike's the man.
we've been up to some stuff, man, and I figured out what makes it different. Being so much older, making a Jackass movie, it's like there's really not anything different except your bones break a lot easier, and it takes much less to knock us unconscious, and we take longer to wake up.
Jesus, dude. I never want those words to come out of my
these are the
mouth.
lessons you've learned.
That's how I'm gonna promote. When I gotta promote the movie.
Method Man's like, work out, take care of your body. And Steve's like, your bones
Maybe-
break easier.
Maybe give your body a break, take a vegan diet for maybe like a month or something like that, and then you can go back to meat. Something like that.
Yeah, a little recovery period.
So on IG, you're Method Man official. I see you got the check mark on there. I'm like,
Yeah, and in real life, I'm Method Man official with the check mark.
yeah. And then and do you run that yourself? Like when you're like, oh, I'm gonna post this. Like,
That's my page. Yeah,
okay, cool, man.
I run everything on there. I also have the Tikal official page, which is I don't run that one though, but it's for the trees that we're distributing in LA as we speak.
Yeah, oh, dude, let's get this.
We are expanding though, so you might be able to find it somewhere. Tikal official and Tikal Athletics, my fitness wear line.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
I love that shit.
Right on, man.
Did you ever expect, like, when you were younger, to see a world where weed is becoming legal everywhere? Like, is that still surprising?
No. Well, yeah, in a sense, yeah. But I knew it was coming once my first trip to Amsterdam. And I was like, this is wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah.
It had the same effect on me as California did, like Steve was telling you earlier, when I actually could purchase marijuana in a store and walk out with it. And,
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, you were real happy. I remember that.
I mean, it's amazing because what's even more amazing to me is that I called it marijuana like 4 times already. And I don't even talk like that. Marijuana.
I smoked a marijuana cigarette.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's only right now because it's being legalized that we have to use this terminology. It deserves respect.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's
for
not-
sure.
Marijuana.
I mean, it should have been legalized 20 years ago, 50 years
Should
ago.
have never been criminalized.
I mean, 40 years they've been fighting and the plant is still winning. That's all I can say about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Life finds a way.
I've been sober for 8 years, and I'm dying for you to light up that tree right now. I'm like just waiting for the.
Y'all not getting, no way. Y'all not getting me to blow my hype on. Nope.
That's so funny.
Meth, I got to ask you. Oh,
For
go ahead.
recreational purposes, I am working, sir.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah, oh, dude, ask that question, man. Paul said something real interesting about the
Well, so I read that Wu-Tang's record deal, is that what you're talking about, Steve?
Yeah.
Wu-Tang's record deal was like Wu-Tang was signed, but like Method Man, if you want to make a Method Man record, you could go anywhere with it. And my question was that sort of just the record label's oversight, or did you have to fight for that?
No, that was actually Steve Rifkin being as innovative as his innovative, sweet, smart ass is. Steve Rifkin is responsible for the street team. That was his invention, So he's always been like an innovator in the game. So regardless of how people feel about Steve Rifkin, he should be in the upper echelon of hip hop culture. This guy gave us that deal. He gave us the deal where it was like RZA presented this as a group with the option to sign as solo artists. If Loud couldn't or did not feel like they wanted to match the deal that was being offered to one of the artists, then so be it. The artist can sign over to another label. We literally changed the game in a sense that when I signed to Def Jam, Dirty to Electra, Jizza to Geffen, and so on and so forth, we had labels that usually wouldn't even speak to each other actually working together for our cause.
Mm,
dude,
amazing.
epic.
That's great.
Yeah, dude, that's so it was like a first look deal, like the Wu-Tang label, they got the first opportunity to make an offer, but if you pass it up, then
And so by the time Dirty was gone, I was gone, Jizza was gone, and the success of those albums, trust me, they weren't letting Raekwon go. And what came out of that is a classic album, Only Built for Cuban Links, which was followed by another classic, Only Built for Cuban Links 2. I mean, Chef is, what can I say about my brothers as a whole? But Chef, in my opinion, when he did those 2 albums, he left Earth. He left Earth like completely, like he was in God dimension. Like he was just every song on, and Chef still has the capacity to do that when Chef wants to do that. But Chef is being a king right now. He's very regal.
All right.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude.
And what about, I'm dying to ask you about working with Biggie Smalls. Like when he asked you to be on The What, did you have expectations of like where his career was going to go from there?
No, none of us did at that point, I think Biggie was a bit more locked in on where he wanted his career to go. But as far as me, I was just rhyming. I was doing what I love to do and just, I wasn't even biding my time. It was just that if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll have something else to fall back on. But being in the studio with Big, who wouldn't feel that aura of, this could be something great when you're there and you're doing the work and the work is done and you're listening to the song and you know who Puffy is and the drive that he had and his business savvy and you see all this stuff coming to fruition and to be a part of that is like, it doesn't it doesn't hit you till later on. So you see it in hindsight, and you say to yourself, like, man, I've done some things with some people, and I'm proud of the work. And that's great right there. And I give a lot of love to Tracy Waples for maneuvering and making that happen, because I wasn't even supposed to do that record.
What do you mean?
At that point in time, Wu-Tang, like I said, we had all these labels working together for our cause. So as far as doing records with other people, that's taking money away from the clan and going over here. We didn't look at it so much as, all right, we're going to go over here and take their fans and bring their fans back, because at that point in time, like I said, we're all starting out. So everybody's fans are everybody's fans. Everybody's status is about the same. So you don't really benefit from working with other artists if you're still trying to build your shit up to superstar status. And when Big and them approached, you know, RZA was more or less like, we battening down the hatches. We're not giving anybody this work unless I produce it. Bottom line. But so Tracy Waples came and got me, and I went and did the Biggie song, and I'm glad I did it. I had to do the same thing with the Redman song for How High. So, you know, me sneaking off doing my thing kind of helped and worked.
Yeah, and you're the only feature on that whole Ready to Die album.
Yeah.
Wow, it's pretty epic, dude.
And in hindsight, you look at that and you say, yeah, I was the only feature. And then you think, well, where we started at, maybe he couldn't get any other features. No, but I doubt that. And like I said, honored, very honored that, you know, even that we had a camaraderie that, you know, that withstood the test of time. And even through the dilemma that was going on between himself and a few clan members at the time and stuff, you know, we still held a good friendship.
Yeah, dude. So I hear you're talking about a lot of acting and stuff. What's going on with the music right now? Are you making music?
I do music because I want to now, not because I have to.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Nice, man.
During the quarantining and pandemic and all of that mess, I had a lot of time to write and study. So I may have some things coming through the pipeline. Myself and Havoc from Mobb Deep, we have an album that we just finished, Dirty P, coming soon. And people are tired of hearing about that because I've been talking about it for months now, but it is done. And we're about to drop it.
All right.
I have Meth Lab 3. That should be coming soon, but it needs some work. We gotta really work on that one. And myself and Rockwaller are doing a lot of remakes of old school so-called B-side hits that I fell in love with, from MC Light, Queen Latifah, KRS-One, Ultramagnetic MCs. Just you'll have to absorb it when it comes out, and it's gonna be good shit. Definitely gonna be good shit.
Hell yeah, dude. And the best way for people to find out when these things are dropping, how they...
I don't know, Black Twitter, they on everything.
Stay plugged in. That's how you find
Stay
it.
plugged in. Yeah. Because I mean, sometimes fans inform me of stuff that I forgot I did. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm just saying, like, if are we sending people to follow your Instagram? You're like, is there
Yeah, they
any...
can if they want to. They can if they want to. I don't stress things like that. I use my social media for business purposes mostly, and sometimes instant gratification.
Yeah.
As we all do. Yeah.
Like validation.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's nothing that I really look at. I can't even tell you how many followers I have right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Ah.
but if they want to stop through for any kind of inspiration, motivation, there's plenty of that on there, as well as products to buy for y'all. You know, authentic products for them to buy.
let me ask you this, man. After the last time I saw you, so since I saw you last, like, were you aware when I was out of my mind on drugs trying to make a fucking rap album? Did you know that was going on?
I had no idea, and if I did, I would have probably cursed you out for not calling me.
Oh, shit.
Right? Because I'm the alpha and omega. You know, I'm the beginning and ending of this shit. So you might as well holler at me if you ever thinking about sticking my ass in the booth.
You know what? I am thinking, because it was such an awful experience, because I was just so out of my mind on drugs, and you know it got so bad. But having had that experience, and now all these years later, I do have a little itch to like try to like have a redemption, man, to get it right. You know, to make one track that for whatever reason was worth recording.
So this isn't one of those Joaquin Phoenix things, right?
No, it was. It was at the time.
Okay.
It was at the time.
But now he wants to make it right.
Now I just want to do one track that wasn't a waste of time. I don't want to become like, dude. It was awful, man. It was bad. And you know, I saw I saw or I heard about. There was like an interview or something, and I think it was you, where it came up how Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass guys like came together to like step in and do an intervention on me, which ultimately saved my life, man. You know, like I've been clean and sober ever since. And there was something. It was a really like a touching like really made me like emotional to hear. I think it was you saying, "Man, if only we could have done that for ODB." You know, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's just not always. It's not always that easy, man. It's you know,
And I mean, you speak from experience, so you know how hard
yeah,
that is. And then, in a sense that when Dirty got locked up, isolated from the people he loved, not a lot of members went to go visit Old Dirty. I personally went there once with RZA to go visit Dirty. I didn't like what I had saw. So Dirty coming home from that, a lot of love and caring from his family. His mom was there, a lot of support. But I don't think it was enough to keep Dirty from being old Dirty.
yeah,
And like someone, I can't speak to that addiction, but I understand. But in the same breath, I feel like people, that shit is so fucking selfish in a
yeah,
sense that, especially people that need you here. I'm pretty sure his family would rather have him here, especially his kids and his grandkids. They would rather have him here clean and sober and boring than, back to the essence. I mean,
I don't think ODB ever could have been boring, man. There's no fucking way that he could have been boring, dude.
I agree. I agree. I agree. It's such a beautiful soul too. Because if you knew anything about Dirty, Dirty loved people, loved the shit out of people, but he had his vices,
Yeah,
Yeah, the world would be a better place right now if he was still here. I tell you that much, man.
yeah, dude.
How'd you meet Dirty?
Through RZA, and it was just this loud. The thing about Dirty that stood out to me was impeccably dressed all the time, and just loud, and always had a 40 ounce in his hand, And his cadence was always different. He never, in my opinion, said his verses the same way twice, ever. And he proved it on his album because he did the same verse on 3 different records on that album. The same verse. I'll grab the mic and I'll damage you. That verse, he did it 3 times on that album. Not the refurbished one. Get the original copy because they took that song off of there and added a song off the Jerky Boys soundtrack called Dirty Dancing. But he did it 3 times. The same verse. Ask RZA. RZA vouched for me for this. And said it different all 3 times. To the point where people didn't even notice it. You probably wouldn't have noticed if I didn't tell you.
Yeah,
But it's definitely still on there twice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I gotta tell you, Matthew, I'm so grateful for being able to do this, man. And I feel like everybody better fucking watch Concrete Cowboy as a thank you to you today. I think this episode's gonna get a lot of attention for us, man. This is we've had some big names on here, but dude, this one personally, getting to talk to you on here, man, this is a big honor, man. I really.
Yeah, Steve, you know that because we're friends, bro.
Yeah, dude, you've always been so good to me, man. And you know what I would like to say too, that if there's a way for me to extend to Raekwon just some good vibes, man. Like I feel like that incident all those years ago, I know that he really, really was upset, and I never wanted that, man. And if there's just a way that I could just put it out to him, man, like that.
Sure, not to cut you off, but I'm sure Chef sees the growth and he's very approachable. And yeah, I can make that happen for you guys, man.
That would be super cool, man.
All's been forgiven.
All right, dude, that means
Mama Cherry probably laughing about this. She probably gonna laugh about this shit when she see it too. Like, yeah, that crazy white boy pulled his dick out. She won't say dick though. I'm sorry, pardon me,
Right.
Mama Cherry. My bad. She won't use that word, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, dude, that means the world to me, dude. It really honestly does. And I'll see Spike today, and I'm gonna tell him that that you
Me
said
and Havoc want him to do our first video.
you and
Please.
Havoc. All right.
Ooh. Sick.
All right.
What are you reaching
Well,
for, dude?
I
He's
was-
gonna do something.
I was just gonna, you know, I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna tell Spike, and yeah, dude, man, it's a real honor, dude. So let's let you get back to your day, man. Thank you for this, and
Thank you.
everybody get that Stars app and catch up on first season of Power.
And even if you don't have the money, get it anyway.
Yeah, get your money right.
Right. Hit that Stars app.
Right. and get ready for Concrete Jungle on Netflix. And,
Yeah.
and
Concrete Cowboys. Concrete Cowboys.
Concrete Cowboys, man. Dude, you're a legend, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. And Steve, keep fighting the good fight. I'm rooting for you, brother.
Oh, dude, thanks so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Danger Ehren. Yeah, dude.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Scott.
Welcome.
Yep, I don't have to introduce you to Scott. Have you met my gorgeous other co-host, Paul Brisske?
Yes, we met several years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
Was it?
It might have been.
And you met on
I think that
FaceTime
was
too?
you.
Once COVID hit, dude, time has been warped so bad. Like, I swear to God.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
met. We
even-
met over a computer Zoom call to talk about his tooth.
That's right.
When we did the tooth video,
Yeah, that's the truth.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
and that was, I think, the only time we.
Dude, that was not
talked.
long ago.
How long
Did
ago
you
was
say
that?
2 years ago?
That was like a
That-
week ago or so.
I mean,
A
dude,
week?
No, that was a few months,
The
maybe.
tooth video is like maybe 4 months.
and then
But-
the first time I met you was when you guys did the waxing mustache.
oh, yeah.
I thought we met before that.
I don't think so. That was because I was when
Maybe
we went
not.
to Portland.
Okay, so that was like 14 years ago.
2014.
Dude, the
Oh, it's
waxing,
2014. That's what I meant.
Yeah, what'd you say? It's not a.
the waxing
not a
mustache,
Chaplin.
it was, that was a fucking classic bit, dude. That was like
Yeah.
early on the YouTube deal.
Yeah,
that-
you guys came up.
That's when you were growing out your stash to do different looks for acting.
No, I don't think it had anything to do with acting. I for all I know, I was growing it out to wax it. I don't know.
Sounds about right.
so long ago, I don't remember.
You had a beard.
A beard, maybe.
But let's make this shit kick ass like right out of the gate. Have you announced to the world what you have to announce?
Oh, I have lots to announce, but
having a
probably
baby?
what you're referring to. What? What'd you say?
You're having a baby?
What?
I didn't say shit.
Oh, I was just kidding.
Yes, he totally is.
It's always a mix. Oh, you didn't even know because he didn't tell you?
I didn't know.
No.
I didn't tell him. I knew, but I
Well,
didn't.
like announced to the world, and I was joking, like, "Are you pregnant?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I thought you knew, and then you were just saying that, and then you felt bad because
Not
you
only-
said it. Because a lot of times, if somebody told somebody and they weren't supposed to tell that person that they got told, that's the big one. It's like, oh, I
Right.
wasn't. I'm sorry.
Right, like
No,
Scott was
I
supposed to
didn't
full,
mean
pretend
to
full
tell
not to know.
disclosure. Full disclosure.
Am I- yeah.
I said it, and I was joking, and I forgot. But we spoke on the phone a couple days ago, and you told me when we were talking about the merch operation.
Yes.
But and then right when it came out of my mouth, I was like, "Oh fuck, I don't even think I'm supposed to tell anybody."
exactly.
But I was just trying to be funny and
It's
say,
like-
"Oh, you're pregnant." Like, I'm
No,
sorry,
yeah.
dude.
Well,
No,
very funny.
no,
You stole
I'm having a
Aaron's
child.
moment.
Yeah, way to blow it for me, dude.
I'm so sorry, dude.
There's like so many cameras in here. It's not just audio. Taking my glory, bro.
dude,
No, I'm kidding. But
it's the first trimester. Is you only tell people who are like you'll be comfortable saying you got a miscarriage.
yeah, but how
That's
many
the
times
people
have
who
you been
tell.
pregnant?
Never.
Okay, so I can tell you from my experience, I've never had a child before or anything. I've raised a child. I love my stepchild Lucia, but I've never actually gone through the process of birth like this, and on itself it's amazing and wild and crazy. But during COVID, it's like I don't even know what to compare it to. But for people that have talked to me about like having a child during COVID, they've all been like, it's just crazy. I can't go to any of the meetings, or I can't go with this and that, and I don't know who to tell because normally you have like a baby shower or you have some event where you can get everyone together. So then the event becomes a Zoom call or some Instagram post
How far
or
along?
Steve-O's.
Well, yeah,
Or
that's what I was
podcast,
gonna
yeah.
say.
Or podcast.
Not only did nobody know, like during the first trimester, his child is expected to be born on May 21st.
Yes,
like
and if you think about it,
literally like
9
very
months.
soon. Like
Yeah.
yeah, they're way down the track.
But I was filming Jackass 4, and at the time I was doing something very, let's just say dangerous to a certain part of my body multiple times over and over again. And
he thought that maybe that he thought that if everybody knew that he was expecting a child, that they would be like, oh, well, he's already reproduced. Like, we can like go extra super hard on him.
Yeah, but
When,
come
like,
to find
dude,
out, I
there's-
couldn't go any harder than we already did.
Dude, like,
So
yeah, I, of course we can't say anything, but like, let's just say that they're gonna have to not show like what actually happened in a lot of cases, because to show what happened would just be too much. They
Really?
Too gruesome.
dude,
just way
I went-
too
I was
gnarly.
so crazy on this new movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you?
but I broke my neck so many times. I told Jeff and Knox, I'm like, listen, I can't break my neck again, so I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do. Well, we figured it out.
So they broke the opposite part of your body.
No, it's functioning,
Yeah,
bro.
that's enough said
Yeah.
about all that. But yeah, dude. So Danger's gonna be a dad, and
Congrats. dude.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Boy or girl?
Girl.
oh, I want to say too. What'd you think about my COVID joke when?
Last
thought
night I
about-
went to your show, and the one about not having children.
Well,
ever.
it was just it was about the pandemic. I said how like, man, thousands of people dying every day. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
it sounds serious, but I don't have any context. So I was too curious. I had to find out how many people die anyway. And it turns out before the pandemic, the average deaths in America every day was 7,500. But that's
Yeah.
not what's shocking. What's shocking is how many average births. There's 11,000 Americans born every day.
Is that just
on
Americans
average.
or world?
That's just in America.
In America.
Just in America. So,
So-
I'm like, okay, so
Wow.
once I've given that statistic, the 11,000 are born every day.
11,001.
Which
Yeah.
So we're net
So-
4,000 a day.
it's a net 3,500, yeah.
Okay.
So then the punchline is, which begs the question, should the coronavirus not pick up the pace?
We might be in trouble.
Right? I mean, it's getting kind of crowded around here.
I mean, it is. I'm
Planet
looking
Earth.
at traffic right now.
Yeah.
It's not
a
just
lot.
here and around here. It's everywhere. The population of the Earth is
Sure, it's too many.
It's a
is
little bit
double
of
what
a-
it should be, and it's going to continue to rise. And we're,
Yeah.
we're like ants in a molehill, or ants in an ant farm, ant hill, and all that. Just like they're everywhere.
Yeah. Food
But we're
and
not as
water
strong
is
as
gonna be
ants.
like.
Ants are really strong,
And smart.
geniuses. Except for when they take the bait every time. That's like, come on, dude. Your little bro just brought back all that stuff I'm going to kill you all with.
So,
And he
so,
killed you last time. What are you doing?
so when we've done stand up like together, there was a period where like
Spokane.
we were doing all like everybody from Jackass except for like Bam and Knoxville and
Yeah.
Reman. Like all of us were doing shows together. And whenever I go up to Portland, Oregon,
Yeah.
or Seattle, like we'll do shows together. And you talk a lot about how you grew up in a funeral home, and like you've got the joke about what was it that you would like crawl into the coffins and pretend to be dead?
Oh, man. So, I mean, I was a kid, I was 7 years old, but I grew up in a mortuary since the age of 3, so
What's the difference between a mortuary and a funeral home?
same. It's
Okay.
a funeral home and mortuary.
And your dad is a funeral director.
Yes, a mortician.
That's what my cousin is.
Yeah. So he does makeup, the services, everything. Grieving with the family, and it's gnarly, man. It's crazy. But so I don't know. Like one day I was in the casket room where he sells caskets, and the family who was crying, and I got in there into the casket room right before they did, and I closed down this casket and I laid in it. And as my dad lifted the casket to show them the inside of it to sell it to them for the one, they just lost their loved one. I jumped out of it and went, and crazy. And I got out and he looked at me and just said, "Get upstairs." And when your dad talks really quietly back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That meant you
Yeah,
were getting your
exactly.
ass
But yeah.
whooped by his belt that had his initials on it or his whole letter or his whole name on it, because back then everyone, I don't know, it was cool to make your own leather belt and stamp your name into it. So he whooped my ass with
Young
this
cunt
fishing
doesn't
belt.
know shit about that.
No.
The 80s.
No, I was alive for like 3 months of the 80s.
I don't
Nobody beat me
understand
up.
this new way of life, like just posting everything you do and not doing anything for real. I don't know. It's
Well, how do you keep busy during the day?
And
Oh wait, sorry. Were you going somewhere?
Well, I was just curious. Like, is the funeral home still like what your dad does? Like, or,
no, he's retired now.
So there's
so-
not going to be. So your kid is not going to grow up in a funeral home.
No, that won't happen.
Right? Why you make it sound like it wasn't a real treat to grow up?
It
in
was a
funeral
real treat. It was a real treat.
Man, you're weird. Fucking creep.
Yeah. What does that do to somebody?
Well, basically, like, so at a very young age, I realized I had this epiphany. So I came in. I remember the lady.
What kind of an epiphany did you have?
As a young buck at the age of actually I was about 9, I believe, and.
Epiphany Amber Thiessen.
Boom, mother effer. That was so good.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
No, but she stopped me, and I just had come home with books in my hand from elementary school, and she stopped me and thought I was part of the family. And she's telling me about the husband that she had lost. She was an elderly, and she was telling me all these stories and everything. And then I basically just kind of walked off, went upstairs to my room. But it made me realize that the stories and the memories that you share and the people you connect with in this planet that we call Earth that is what life is. And if you can let go of life and be positive and not look back and say I burned people, I did bad stuff and whatever, then you can just let go, and that's heaven. And leaving behind memories of stories with family and loved ones and being a good person,
So-
it meant a lot to me. And so I wanted to basically do that for forever, but it made me realize that I wanted to do something to the masses, like be an entertainer or something, an athlete, like do something where I could make a big splash, not just for my little town. That's just me personally. And then that's kind of how I ever became Danger Ehren, snowboarding,
Right.
pro snowboarder, trying to just
So you got
Do it.
your way into Jackass was very much the same as Dave England's. You guys were like a package deal.
well, I was snowboarding up in Oregon. Dave had moved up there. I'm from Oregon, and
So Dave England got in, and he was like, "Yo, my
no, it was
homeboy-"
actually Whitey, my friend Whitey.
Oh yeah, Whitey. Okay.
Told those guys because we were filming stuff up there, just funny, whatever gags, snowboarding stuff, and had written a couple ideas, and so they flew up there to film the pilot with Dave and myself.
And
Because
that's when
the
you did
idea that I had turned in, they were just like, "Oh, what? That's crazy. Okay, let's do it."
But
and
what was
then
that
the
idea?
ideas were like urban kayaking.
Oh, there was so many: urban kayaking, blind driver, all the Danger Ehren, like extreme scooting, like that whole character, Danger Ehren.
What was the gnarliest?
the pogo
slam?
stick? This shirt.
Oh, dude, I
actually,
love that, dude. I
this-
love when he pogo sticks onto the skateboard. It's one of my
This,
favorite.
this is actually a shirt I had made by Mikey Boss Dog, and he did this graphic for me. I said, all I want is a pogo stick. I want my orange jumpsuit and my pogo stick from the first skit I ever filmed. And
That was the first skit you ever
that was
filmed?
I showed up to
God, that was such a genius idea. Fucking, I'm like so jealous of that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it was
simple.
fun. So simple.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
good.
But doable too. I know it's doable. I couldn't quite figure it out. But
How many tries did you take?
on the that you mean just the pogo
Because I
skate?
would imagine that you would have trouble committing to that.
No trouble committing. I full committed back in the day, and I still do. You've seen it.
And this was you did a pogo stick right onto a skateboard.
Well, yeah, I was trying
Yeah.
to basically become the first pogo skater,
Yeah.
and that's why I made this shirt, and so it's pretty.
That's
rad,
great,
but-
man. I became
So-
the first stilt skateboarder,
There you go.
and wow, did that fuck me up?
I don't think I ever saw that even.
I
actually.
did it on stage at spring break. I don't even know if there was fucking footage rolling, and I landed just straight on my ribs, and I didn't even break a rib. I just like bruised them, I think.
Ooh,
and
that's
I
even worse
Couldn't
sometimes.
laugh, dude. Laughing hurt so bad, and
Yeah.
sneezing. Oh my god,
Yeah.
the worst.
And when was the first time that you guys met?
So back to this pogo thing. I showed up for the pilot. This was like way before we even had a TV show.
So it wasn't even called Jackass at that point.
No,
Right.
it wasn't called Jackass. It was just a show that we were trying to sell to either MTV or Comedy Central. It hadn't been bought yet, so we were just doing you had your
Was
stuff.
it on that trip when Dave England had the fake baby on the bicycle and crashed the bicycle?
That was the following trip. I think they actually came up for about a week to film. That first pilot we did was 2 days. It was a weekend shoot.
Right.
We came up, and I showed up dressed as Danger Ehren for no reason whatsoever. I just showed up in that Danger Ehren outfit with a
Because
helmet.
you care about leaving people a legacy of entertainment.
Yes, and I figured, what better way than to just hug myself off of things?
Was
And-
was that like the character, Danger Ehren, was it invented for that, or it was already a thing
No,
you were
it
doing?
actually came from 2 years prior. I dressed up as a race car driver, and we bought an LTD, and we went backwards all through Portland.
Now,
And then the next year, I didn't have an outfit for Halloween, so I went as Danger Ehren, which was the race car driver outfit, and all of my injuries which at the time at the age of 20, I believe. It was a neck brace, an arm brace, a leg brace, a leg brace.
So all your medical paraphernalia
Yeah,
that you had
and
collected.
yeah, and a crutch, and then I went for Halloween as Danger Ehren, and then later that next year or whatever when they showed up, I still had that costume, and so I showed up with my helmet and my mechanic suit that has my name or whatever, and then Dave was pogo sticking, and I just got out of the car and I was like, hey, can I try? And then I just went through Portland pogo sticking. Bad.
It's a cute story, but the reality is that the name Aaron McGehee sucks.
That's the real truth.
Yeah, but Stephen Glover's much better.
That's why I don't use it. Stephen Gilchrist Glover? No, that doesn't sound right.
You're the first Gilchrist I've ever heard.
Yeah, you know what Knoxville's real name is?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you allowed to say it on
Philip John Clapp.
What's
Two
He's
P's.
named after an STD.
But wait, is Clapp spelled CLAPP?
It is. Well, I don't know how the STD
No,
is.
I know his name is spelled.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
your
asking,
medical
is the
report.
STD one. I don't think it's spelled the same.
I don't fucking
How much
care.
how much hardware do you have in your body?
I have had 3 broken necks, so I've got fusion at C5 and 6, a disc replaced at 6 and 7, a disc replaced at 7 T1, and then my neck fused itself at C2 and 3 because of scarring from like injuries.
And how many of those injuries you just listed are from Jackass?
I broke my neck twice in the last film we did, previous to what we are just working on now.
And
So
What bits?
I think it was number 3.
There was up in the snow.
shopping cart.
He was sitting there, and they were gonna have him ski across like some little body of water.
Yeah, no, but so I got in a shopping cart and I was in the
And it
fat
was built
suit.
on water skis or something.
It was no, it was on regular skis, and Eric Roner, rest
Oh,
in peace,
right.
pushed me through down the hill, and they built this pond that I was supposed to land in, and the gag was that I'd get wet, and then I'd walk over to get a towel, and they would just a hole like an 8-foot hole drops off, and then I eat shit in there, and then I think some
You didn't
snakes
even
or
make
some
it
shit.
that far.
Well, no, and I told Jeff, I was like, "Yo, I'm pretty good with knowing how like velocity and like stuff. I made a career off of this, and my whole life has been about hucking my body and surviving." And I said, "I'm gonna hit that wall. I'm gonna flip, hit that wall, and break my neck." And he's like, "No, you'll be fine." And sure enough, I did, and it whipped, and I knocked out, and I get in the water, and I'm fully concussed, and I come to because it's ice cold water, and I get up, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And everyone's looking at me literally like they thought they killed me, in full speed and regular speed. It was fucking violent as shit. Like,
Yeah.
And I'm standing there like looking at them like should I be walking right now? Like what should I do? Because I feel like I'm dying. And they all looked at me like, "Oh God, what that went wrong? What do we do now?" And then somebody said, "The towels are over there." And I'm I'm not even kidding. And I'm like, "Okay." And I
fall
walked
through?
over and I fucking went in the hole, and they let me drop in the whole 8-foot hole, even knowing that I had already probably like I was a fucking ghost. I was just a walking. They thought they killed me. They didn't understand. And I fell in the hole, and I'm laying in there. I go, "Are you kidding me right now?" Just like that. Sorry, that
Oh
might
my
be too loud.
God. No, you're good.
And they let it happen, and that
It
didn't
was-
air on anything.
That wasn't part of the
No,
bit.
because they felt so bad.
I mean, that's another example where they couldn't show it actually happened
Yeah.
because it was too much.
It was too
Oh
hard.
my God.
Like if we had just like not the .5s, because even the .5s can't show the like a lot of the gnarly stuff. If we had,
I mean, I don't know that there's that much footage that was like couldn't be shown. I mean, it sounds like you're falling with a broken neck into an 8-foot pit. Like it does count. Why? But like,
there's lots of things, man. We've been doing this for 21 years. Like,
Why? What comes to mind?
Yeah.
well, okay, take for instance, I did something that you would have seen that you might not know the backstory of what you really could have seen. Yellow snow cone, where
Okay.
I pee into a snow cone.
I saw that and I was like, man, that's lowbrow even for us.
No, but not at the beginning. And it was awesome. Like you can say what you want. People remember it.
It's true. Absolutely.
Okay.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my original idea with that was that I wanted to make a Snoopy snow cone machine, like pea cone, and we couldn't get like Hasbro or whoever owns that brand to clear off that. So I was like, okay, well, what about this? And we just stuffed. It was snowing in Portland in Dave's backyard, and that's when we filmed that. And I peed in a snow cone, and I ate it, and it was pretty gnarly, but it wasn't like super gnarly, like compared to what we do now. But back then, it was like, you don't show that stuff for real on a movie.
on
you know?
MTV, or was it on?
That was
That
in
was
the
the movie.
yeah.
It was in the first movie. Like, you just don't show real stuff like that on a film in a theater. Theaters at the time. And so I did that. Dave kicked me in the nuts. That felt really not cool. Whatever. And I dropped to my knees and I started puking because it was disgusting. And he kicked me so hard in the dick that my stomach basically like was exploding with all the food that I had just eaten. And so I puked all over the place. And then I pick up that snow and I stuff it into the snow cone thing. And I look at the camera, Dimitri, I think, and I go, and now this is the brown snow cone. And then I ate my puke in the snow, and they never showed that. They can't show
Okay.
that.
Why?
It's not. Because it's disgusting.
I mean, yeah,
you
like
can't
the
show
vomit.
that. Like, well, we did that, but there
Did
was.
they ever show the vomit when Dave?
We had to reshoot that 3 times just to get it because of all the.
And that was
laws
why
and
they had
loopholes.
hazmat suits and shit.
I'm not
Really?
sure. I talked to Jeff the other day
Yeah.
about that, and I can't.
I don't know.
remember.
I can't even remember. How about on the first movie when you did the mousetrap thing and you were like crawling around with all the mousetraps everywhere?
Yeah.
And that was like, it was like, all right, that's kind of cute. But then what was like the most amazing thing that anybody had ever seen was when was it Knoxville threw the
And
mousetrap and
It
snapped
clamped to
onto
my
your-
balls.
Yeah, like how fucking incredible was that? Can you imagine trying to do that on purpose?
Yeah, no, it'll
happen
never happen
again.
again.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
the
That-
thing
that-
about
that-
doing the
that's
mouse traps that was so gnarly or whatever impressive to me was that when you set 2,000 mouse traps, if one goes off, a lot of them go off, and then you've got that whole problem. And we were able to set 2,000 mouse traps for me to roll through, so that was pretty cool.
What would you say if they were like, okay, we're gonna redo that old mousetrap bit, but it's gonna be rat traps?
With rat traps, yeah. I'm
Why? What's the difference? Bigger and harder?
Dude,
Rat traps are break your
fucking
fingers,
yeah,
dude.
they're heavy, dude.
rat traps. If a rat trap gets clamped around your balls, you're not having balls, dude.
So-
They'll just squish them completely.
So when you put your tongue on a trap, it's a mouse trap.
Yeah,
not a
you
rat
don't do a rat trap.
Oh.
Right? I mean, you could.
Yeah,
but
rat traps
what's
are
the point?
fucked up.
What's the point?
Right?
I don't
yeah,
know.
it's maybe a little too much. I don't know.
Like, maybe.
Might be too much.
So let me ask you about this because this is something that I feel like pretty strongly about. Like over the years, like all 21 of them, like you've kind of like been like sort of a whipping boy, you know? It's
Yeah.
like everyone just be mean to Danger Ehren. Like what makes Jackass so special is this like camaraderie, this charisma, or not charisma, this chemistry that we have between us. Yet like it's just like bullying. You've been the victim
Very
of,
much
of
so.
bullying
For sure.
for like a lot of the time,
Yeah.
dude. And
it's hard for me sometimes because, well, a lot of times for any purpose of somebody being bullied, but I'm, in a sense being outcasted and bullied and it's all in good fun, as so everyone says. But the reality is no matter what, eventually you just get tired of the same repetitive jokes that are being put towards you.
Right.
And it's different because it's my job. I'm not like this in person. Like if you fuck with me, like I'm sorry, I'm not gonna just take it like I do while we're filming stuff because
Right.
we need that person. Like as a group,
Right.
we really do. Like if we didn't
I
have
mean,
me,
I guess
to
so,
get,
but
but at this point to me,
I've never done that to you, man.
you've always been pure.
Yeah,
and
I've
rad. So
always been a bro.
what happens in this situation a lot of times is like one person will say something, and in order for them not to get picked on, they make sure that they're dishing out. And then all of a sudden, everyone else will just kind of follow suit right behind. It's a normal thing in life. People do it.
Sure.
Like
Same way
in
kids
order
do
for
it.
them not to feel like, they're coming after me. Let's go after that person, and then the attention will not be on me anymore. Or you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, it's almost like maybe they're getting bullied at home, but they're not kids. I don't know what the answer
honestly,
is.
all I know is who I am. As
You getting hot?
Yeah, you know hot.
Can we
Oh,
open
that's
up
a nice-
that window?
Turn on that fan. Sorry, dude.
you can max air that stuff, and the little blaster fan. This thing's set up for all terrain
Does it ever come
Interviews.
also like
all terrain interviews.
because people who watch Jackass, they feel so close to you guys, they feel like they're your buddies. So do people come up to you and feel like they can bully you because they've seen you
I
bullied?
think most people come up to me and they can relate to what happens to
that's
me
cool.
because no matter like yeah, there's like there's the cool guy, and the cool guy, like everyone thinks that's cool. That cool guy's getting picked on all the time too. Like even if it's just people don't respect that person or something, like we're all human beings. Like we
dude.
like we need to take care of each other.
What does
There-
Morrissey say? Like, I'm just a human and I need to be loved.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I can't remember what we were just talking about though. You said that
I said everybody bullies you.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the time it's funny. I mean,
Yeah, I mean-
a lot of it's funny, and I do agree with you that maybe, like, to an extent, we need that. But I said when I brought this up initially, I feel strongly about it because I think that, for a lot of the time, it's just gone too far. It's gone past the point of being like playful and fun, and it's like,
what's the point? It gets to the point at it's like, what's the point of saying mean things to a person when there's not even cameras being rolled? And a lot of times, like not a lot of times, but sometimes, and it's not just to me, it's to everybody. Like we latch on to somebody else to take the blame off of us, and that's what happens with this. We get 9 guys, 10 guys together, whatever. Now it's like more.
I mean,
but
everybody gets shit. There's no question about that. But it just goes with you. It's been too much a lot of the time, and it's been when cameras aren't rolling, and it's like, and I've just, I'm speaking up for you, man, because I love you, and you're a great guy. Hey, you don't deserve that fucking shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, here's what you just said is I'm a great guy. I mean, I don't know if I'm a great guy, but I'm a good person. I'm a good guy. And
I
and at
think
the
you're
end
a
of the
great guy.
day, whatever people say or do to me, like I go home, I'm like, dude, I'm killing it in life. Like I'm killing it in life. I've got the best life. I am the same person I was before I started Jackass. I feel like you can't say shit to me. Like literally,
Man.
you can't say shit to me that's gonna like make me not really know who I am and
That's cool.
respect myself.
I agree with that.
I have to be really strong to be able to still continue to hear that shit over and over again because I'm not letting it. It does affect me, and eventually I get over it, and I'm just like, fine. Then you guys can talk shit to yourselves. And I'm gonna walk over here.
Go back
and
to
get
one of
back
your
to
9
my
houses.
Life. Go back to one of my 9 houses and
Yeah.
chill, dog.
I mean,
But you
that's
have
the
to be
thing.
strong, like
And-
your shirt says. You do
Right.
in life, especially when people are like giving you shit for no reason. All you want to do is crawl up into a ball and be like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, they're right. I suck," but you don't. I don't
Right.
suck.
No,
I
you
don't
don't.
care.
Well, just look at the people
Tell
that
me
are
what you
bullying
want.
you. It's like even like the comments on some of the videos. It's like, dude, who's actually saying that, and why would you say that to anybody?
The comments on social media, it's like the way that the world works right now with social media and how easy it is to just ridicule people and make them feel like shit for no reason. It's ridiculous. That's turned into normal society now. And that's not how we need to live. Like, what's the point in telling everybody what they're doing wrong instead of like saying, hey, you're doing this right and you could fix this or do that better, but you're not always just doing wrong. Like
Well,
that's not going to benefit us all.
It's a spiritual axiom, meaning like an immutable law of nature, that the way we treat others is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. And that's why it's all the hating and negativity. It's like you got some fucking shit going on with yourself and you don't like it, and so you take it out on other people. Like in general, like happy, healthy people don't shit on others.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's different with this because this is I mean, honestly, I'm 100% sure that we all love each other. Like
Yeah, for sure.
like
Yeah, you guys
beyond
like
love.
family.
Like we're family. And you have a brother or sister and you love that person and you still pick on that person. And it doesn't excuse it. But
Right.
usually what happens when you get older in life, like in your 40s and 50s, is you're like mature enough to then say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pick on you younger.
Yeah.
But we aren't mature. We are jackass. Like we aren't supposed to grow up. We're
Right.
supposed to be like doing this as I guess forever. But so that normal like growing up phase and being like, hey man, I just want to let you know I love you and like
I tell you
I'm
that
sorry
all the
I ever
time.
yeah, I know. I tell that to you too.
Yeah, dude.
So
Do you think maybe the other guys feel like, since you sort of said like, you almost play this role of being like the
That
butt
it's
of a joke,
supposed to happen?
that it's almost their job also
Yeah.
to like throw it at you and kind of like give you the shit and like they're like, this is just work for me. Like we're kind of supposed to do that.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think that might
like
have a
that's in
little
there.
bearing in on that. It's
Subconsciously,
like
maybe?
it's just it's accepted. It's what as we've done for so long.
Yeah.
But I don't. I would like to think that if I were on the other side of it, like I wouldn't be rousting a dude
Sure,
hard
yeah.
over and over again, because I can see when I do it to some of our new crew or whatever, I can see their emotions and their whole like outlook on like their spirit. Like when I see other people start doing things to them, I see them instantly just like go into this like, oh man, I'm like, oh no, like, and it totally makes
It's probably hard
everything worse.
enough coming in like to a new crew, and then you get rousted. It's like, Jesus, maybe I don't
Yeah.
belong here.
Well, there's,
know?
but you should get fucked with, you know. But there's a certain point at which, because
should
I
get
get
fucked
fucked
with.
with, I know, like, okay, it's about to cross the line. I don't want to, like. There's no point in me hurting his or her feelings for anything right now. We're not even filming. What's the point?
Yeah.
Hey, man, just know this. I'm just trying to teach you something. That's it. That's all. Cool. And then it's like, oh, okay, cool. And then
It's like
the spirit's
seniors and
lifted.
freshmen.
Yeah.
Hey, so,
So-
what was the conversation that you and I had? We had a conversation on the flight home from India, or like.
Yeah, it was,
I was still
actually
not- I was
going to
going to
India,
India?
and I think we sat next to each other on the way back too.
I remember bonding. I remember that it's been something that we reflected on like many years later, but I hadn't gotten sober yet. I was a fucking pile of.
You weren't, dude. It was like the.
Well,
so
you-
the conversation. So we're going to India. What movie was this? 2?
For number 2.
Yeah. We're going to India, and they paired Steve-O up with me on the 17-hour flight to India.
You guys
See,
flying
he
first
gets the
class?
short end of the stick every time.
Steve, you were like, this was like the beginning of.
The end.
This was the beginning of the gnarliest you could ever be in doing like drugs. Like you.
This
were-
was going to India.
Yeah.
So you got a nose full of cocaine before you got on the
Dude,
flight
Well,
because
no,
there was
I didn't do any cocaine
No, he
during
smuggled-
that second movie.
But whippets
we
were
can't
cool.
really talk about
I
things.
probably
but
smuggled drugs for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
I made a whole
But I
video
do know
about
that somehow. But I do
What
know.
drugs did you bring to India?
I mean, I don't know.
Well, here, let
I
me-
probably like swallowed a bunch of
No,
pepper
uppers, downers,
So,
Lily,
so let's just go back to the. But I
conversation.
can tell you this. I do know that you did smuggle drugs because I smoked some weed out of your ass.
Okay, good.
So that
Ass
came
grass.
from his butt.
Good.
So
Yeah,
I don't know how
ass
it got
dude.
there.
I swallowed a condom. I probably swallowed
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 condoms
Yeah.
full of weed.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't just
Yeah.
do one? You did
No.
like 5
Oh,
or
dude,
6?
I got-
he
like,
did.
I
He
got to the
packed
point.
like he had weed. Dude.
I got to the point. I didn't want to fucking choke on it, and I'm
mule.
like, yeah, I fucking had like 5
and
or
I'm
6
sitting
of them.
next to him
Wow.
on this plane for 17 hours, and he's like, just wow, wow. And I'm like, dude, so what's up? Like, where do you come from? Like, what's your story? Like, we got a lot of time to talk. Let's talk about real stuff. Let's talk about life outside of this cool shit we do of Jackass. And we got to talking, and I was like, man, like none of this really matters. Like, what matters is you. Like, you matter, and you need to take care of yourself. Like, everyone likes Crazy Steve-O, and we all love that Crazy Steve-O, but if there's no Crazy Steve-O anymore because Crazy Steve-O killed himself on fucking doing too many drugs, and you had no responsibility for anything, I said to you, I was like, you need to take care of yourself, man, and I love you, and I care about you, and I truly believe you have the ability to be a rad person. Because you were not a rad person at that point.
Definitely not.
And we talked and we kept talking and then we smoked weed from your butthole later on. But you know.
Well, what do you remember from that side of the
That's what I'm
story?
talking about, Steve.
Hey,
probably
you
have a
remember that
different,
shit
like,
I was telling you on the plane?
perspective. Yeah.
Fuck that. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I just know that we bonded.
No,
That's all I
honestly,
know.
his response was totally like kind of shocked. I remember you were like shocked that I would even bring that up or talk about it, like because it was
he
like
like-
your mortal enemy. You didn't want to like acknowledge what you were really doing, and
Right.
I stopped you and made you acknowledge it, and you were like,
You're
Concerned.
like, you're on my shit list for the next
Yeah,
9
was he
years.
combative or sort of like
No,
receptive and sad?
no, you weren't. You
Yeah,
weren't competitive.
we bonded. We had a bro down.
Yeah,
And so that was the second.
but that
movie.
was how many years before
it was,
you cleaned up on that?
About 2 years before.
2 years. And 2 years more went by. So that was like the beginning of
Yeah.
really taking off that stuff. And then we did the MTV special, the 24-hour
Well, right,
takeover.
but before that.
Everybody keeps talking about this 24-hour takeover.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
whatever, dude.
Legendary.
Wait, I want to talk about the end of
Yeah.
the second movie. Like you had the pubic beard.
Yeah.
And that idea came about because we had a writing session at Jeff Tremaine's house to come up with ideas for the movie.
Yeah.
And I said, just in this meeting, I said, hey man, for what it's worth, I like looked at my bush, my pubic hair. It was just like such a gnarly afro. Like
You had to just
I shaved
put
it
it
off.
on my
I
face.
shaved it off, and it was so much pubic. It was such a big bush. Like I stuffed it into an empty drug baggie.
Yeah.
Like
I've
and
done
it's-
this several times as
and
well.
it's sitting in my medicine cabinet in my bathroom. And so we're like, okay, what can we do with pubic hair? And like the whole idea didn't come up in that session, but that was like the genesis, like where it all came. So you end up with everyone's pubic hair, super glued to your face.
Which, by the way, I would do that. I've said this
what you
every
did,
day.
you-
I've said, and I would really do every day for like, I would say almost the rest of my life, have to shave off your dick's pubic hair off my beard, then break my neck again. Seriously,
That makes
so
sense.
so
That-
so
that-
so
that
I'm
adds up.
like, this is
Yeah, I
gold,
think
and I
every
didn't
person
have
in
to
the
try.
world, every person in the world would agree with you on that one.
So
Right.
No,
I
but that
got
was
the
gold
best
and it was
skit
simple,
of
yeah.
fucking movie and possibly all time of Jackass, and I didn't have to break my
it's-
neck.
I don't know, dude.
Or-
They're done with the carbs ass.
That's
and
too
you,
much.
And
That's
you
the
with
best.
the
Yeah.
pubic beard.
The
Those are,
pubic beard was good though because it was like
But
the
Dunn's car up
prank
the
within
ass.
a prank aspect
Right,
where
right.
Ehren thinks he's pranking this guy, but
Right.
the prank is all on him. Like
But
it was perfect.
But Dunn's car up the ass is probably it's
And
like the
that's-
best thing. ever.
That's pretty much the best thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring up the pubic beard and what the bit was called, it was called the terror taxi.
Yeah.
You know, with the pubic hair on your, and then with like the whole terrorist bomb thing.
Yeah.
And you, after it was filmed, you told everybody, oh, I knew it was pubic hair. I was just being a bro. I was just going along with it because I didn't want to ruin the bit. But I knew.
Okay,
like,
do you
the
want
whole-
me to tell you the truth?
I mean, this is a controversy that's raged on
Forever,
for
since the
fucking
beginning.
years.
Since the beginning
Yeah,
of it,
like,
even
and-
happening.
Look at him, dude. He's got an answer.
Oh,
Let's get
I
the
don't
truth.
lie. I don't need to lie. Why do I need to lie about anything? My life is so crazy already.
So that whole time you
So,
absolutely
I
knew.
so I walked in.
This is huge.
So I walked into Tremaine's office and he says to me, "We're gonna film." And I don't care. At this point, I can tell like anybody, everybody, and I've told it as verbatim the same way every time because it's the truth. But I don't care to tell the whole world now. It doesn't matter. They can know.
I don't think that you've told it the same every time.
I have. I've told it the same every time because it's
That
the way it
you
went
knew.
down. No, I didn't know about the pubic. Okay, so check this out. So I walk in.
Oh, we got
Tremaine-
another version.
I
think
no,
you just changed
you
right before
asked
my
me.
eyes.
V6.
Listen, I'm going back to the beginning
Okay.
of how I even ended up in this skit. I'm not at that time. I didn't know there was going to be any hair involved on my face. But I can tell you this: that Tremaine told me that we were going to film the skit that I wrote years ago, and I went through all of my notes when I got home because I write everything down and catalog it, and I didn't find it anywhere. And I had already turned in some fucking gold for this movie, and it wasn't being filmed. So I knew it was a setup. I'm like, I told my girlfriend at the time, I said, they're either going to pull a gun out or a knife out, or they're going to take me. I thought what they were going to do is take me to jail and fuck with me in jail. And so that was where my mind was going. So when they're putting the pubic hair, the dick hair, as I refer to, on my
Merkin.
chin or on my face, all over it, I even said, "Is this pubic hair?" And it's in the film. I think it was.
I think they used that. Yeah.
Yeah. And she goes, "No, it's Hollywood hair." And at that point, I didn't even process or give a fuck because I realized that what is happening right now is hilarious, right? So I went into the taxi. I didn't know it was Jay Chandler's car whatsoever. I should have because he's recognizable.
Troopers.
But I'm sitting behind him, and Dimitri's sitting next to me, and we're filming, going to do this fucking gnarly terrorist taxi bit. And so I'm in character saying, "Take me to the big airport, please," and all those things. And I don't know it's Jay, and Dimitri's looking over at me saying, hey, say that one. And I said something that he had said to me, and then I started talking about liking women's breasts and stuff, and then I'm like, "Yeah, we're going this way," and then all of a sudden, we're in a parking lot and Jay gets out and I'm like, "I fucking got a bomb." And why would I say I've got a fucking bomb that's totally fake with a dude who's pointing a gun at me? Like, do you think I would actually be, no, I'd be like, "Dude, I'm so sorry," instantly. So the only way out for me was to look like a badass and act tough. And so I was like, "Fuck you, dude. I got a fucking bomb. What are you going to do?" And all this shit.
So you
'Cause-
you still thought this was real or fake?
No, I knew
No,
it was fake.
you knew it was a bit.
At that point.
You didn't look like you knew it was a bit.
Exactly. But I'm telling you the truth. Okay?
I can't
I
figure
knew
out
it
what
was-
you're telling me.
You can't process it.
I mean, this I don't know.
So dig this. So dig
the
this.
story's going like this.
No,
and
no,
I
no.
believe
The
both.
story's going the same direction the whole time. I knew it was a setup. I didn't know about the pubic hair. I said, "Is this pubic hair?" But then I didn't even think about it anymore because
So
I
you
want to
didn't-
stay in character. The whole time I'm being abducted all of a sudden with the. He tells me to get out, get on the ground. I'm in the back of the fucking taxi, and I'm literally laughing my ass off, like under my breath because I know I'm mic'd. And Bam says something, and I go, "That's Bam Margera. He's famous. You should listen to him." Like, you think I'm gonna say that shit if I'm terrified of my life?
But I remember there's a point where you're in the van and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck, this is fucking stupid. What the fuck, you assholes? I'm sick of this shit. Get me out of here.
That was fake?
No, it was entertaining.
Okay,
Okay,
so,
so you-
if I understand correctly, you didn't know it was pubic hair
I
glued
did
all
not
over
know
your face.
it was pubic hair
and
glued all over my
You
face.
didn't know that it wasn't a real taxi driver.
I knew
So
it was a
what
setup.
did you know?
I knew it was a setup the minute Jeff told me that I wrote the skit, and I went back through all my notes from all the last many years and couldn't find it when I knew that we had already turned in really
So-
great ideas and we're wasting
so-
time doing this. What is this old skit? I didn't write it. If I didn't write it, but we're filming it, but he told me I wrote it, then it's a setup. I don't know how it's going to go down, but I know it's a setup.
All right.
So as soon as the cab driver pulls the gun, in your head you know this is a bit, a prank on me.
Yeah.
So you just sort of play it for the camera like the way you did it.
I
But
feel
you
bad
knew.
telling everybody all the time over and over, because especially they don't believe me.
So this is once
but
and
it's the
for all.
truth. Like, I'm like, it's not just a once and for all, because this will spark new conversation of like, why would you even say that? It's not true. I'm like, it is. It's just the truth. It's how it went down. I am the one person that
I still
knows.
don't understand what you've explained. So let's move
I
on.
didn't know about the pubic hair. I knew it was somehow a setup. I didn't know how it was going to go down. My thought was, and I told my girlfriend at the time, that it was going to be like I got a gun pulled on me, a knife or something like that, or taken to jail where then I get fucked with. Like, leave me overnight with cameras everywhere, and I'm freaking out. That I didn't know it was going to stop there. And then when I come out and I'm scared, whatever, right?
Right.
Then they tell me about the pubic hair, and then that processes through my mind like, oh fuck, like that's disgusting. Now that I have a moment to just
Okay.
take a breath, and then I started puking because it was in my mouth where I had just ripped out a tooth or something.
You had crabs in your mouth.
Yeah, and then that's all real. Like, come on, man.
Okay, good.
Was
good.
the dick hair really that necessary?
Yeah, and I made sweatshirts too. It said,
Right.
Yeah.
I like it.
I love
Anyways.
it. So I think that of all the guys on Jackass, that you are probably the most like well-adjusted, in that you don't really subscribe to fame or celebrity. You don't really identify as that. You're just a normal guy. You live a normal life. And I think you've also been more entrepreneurial with the money that you got from Jackass than most any of the other guys, in that you've taken it and invested it in all this real estate. Like you said, you own 9 houses. Like you had a skate
7
shop.
right now. 7.
Right.
But yeah.
And when I found out about this real estate initiative that you were all into, and that you had like at the time, like 9 or 10 houses, I remember thinking, dude, danger, that's great while the market's doing well. But like, dude, if the real estate market crashes,
You always have a
that-
backup plan.
What's the backup plan?
Well, I bought my first house off the first movie, where we made just like, we didn't make that much money, but I bought a building, down payment in my hometown where I grew up to start a skate shop. So I bought the building and got a loan for the business, because it's better to own the real estate than it is to have a business. You can fail a business, but if you own the property, you
can always rent it
continue
out.
to rent it out and whatever else. And so,
That's the McDonald's movie.
Yeah.
no, this was way before that movie came out, but it's the
No,
same
McDonald's was
philosophy.
around way before.
This is way I came up with this process.
1958.
I don't know.
No, you're
who
right.
you're talking
Smart,
about.
very smart.
Who's this McDonald's character?
Yeah, Ray
So-
Kroc, dude.
Fuck that dude. He's a liar. I'm gonna tell you the truth. No, I'm kidding. So I took the money that I made for that movie and I moved back. I lived in Hollywood at the time for like 3 years, trying, being a part of the whole thing and whatever. It was a great time. But then I moved back to my hometown and started my skate shop and bought a house. And since then, I've acquired many homes that I, vacation rentals and whatever else. Being involved in real estate is a long-term game. It's not something you do. There's a lot of people that flip homes, and if you have decent credit, you can get in the game of that, and that's a pretty good living. But my plan was, because I'm fourth generation Oregonian, I love Oregon, I wanted to own as much in Oregon places that I would want to live, and that's my philosophy behind it. And basically, in the long game of it, is there's like a up and down. It's a roller coaster, the real estate market. It's the same as anything with inflation. You know, the only way to protect your money, like when I was a little kid in elementary school, I used to buy suckers for 10 cents and take them to school and sell them for 25 cents to my classmates. So I'd make 15 cents every sucker, and I'd sell like 20 suckers a day. And then one day I went to the store, and that sucker that was 10 cents, my price was now 25 cents. So I had to buy them for 25 cents and sell them for 50 cents. I made more money. But if I had bought in boxes at 10 cents, then I would have been rich. Mm-hmm. And that's my philosophy with houses is inflation hits. You know, and when inflation hits, the only way to protect your money is to have it invested in something that goes up with inflation instead of it just sitting in the bank.
How many of those houses are rented out?
They're all, I mean, I bought my parents a house, like one of the first, and my house I live in, and then...
And you do all your own construction?
Yeah, I build.
Great. I've been to one of your houses. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I have a lot of
friends. It really is
that-
incredible what you do with houses, man. It's fucking badass.
I've obviously don't do it alone. I have a lot of good friends that, you know, are contractors, and along the way, I like to be involved in it so I can learn, because, like, what's the point if you can't learn how to do it? So
I feel like you were building a sauna in one of your
yeah, I'm
houses.
doing sauna.
Fucking, it was
Yeah, I
so
slept in your house. I was scared of the ghosts in your house.
Yeah, wait, you did?
When we were in that one city.
So anyways,
let me ask you this: if you're so fucking entrepreneurial with your suckers for 10 cents, like the fuck don't you sell merch?
well,
Good question, Steve. You have 9 houses, but you have no
wearing
t-shirts.
great
You're
question. I'm
wearing a
wearing it, but
t-shirt.
where do you find it?
Yeah,
You
where
gotta
can they get this shirt right now?
You got to find me somewhere. Like, where's Waldo? Like, where's Danger? And
do
I'll
you have-
give you the one on my back. Or I have a whole stack in my truck.
And how do you
Otherwise-
take the credit cards that the people want to pay with you?
Well, that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about with Thai
Right.
Box.
Yeah, type box packing.
But-
No, the
Tight
merch
box
stuff,
packing.
the merch stuff, and all that comes with the whole idea of, in a sense, fame and things. So
I know it goes against where you're at, but I think
no, it's not against it.
You want
it's
us to
just
sell suckers for you at Type Box?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sucker comes.
He's like, does that immediately.
Free
Like,
sucker with every purchase.
There you go.
Boom.
wow.
No, but
We're giving them away
like
for free.
honestly, what I was doing and what I've been doing and continue to do right now is, when I lived in LA and I realized that it, like, basically whatever career I want to have is based on what other people think is cool. Whether they think I'm cool this week or next week I'm not cool. And I don't want to live by that. I need a base, I need a safe zone, a place that I can say, okay, if all that shit falls apart, I have a life. And so that's why I moved back up to Oregon and did all this stuff. And I have that now. Like, I have a great base that I've worked on for 15 years. Like I can say that if the Hollywood stuff and all this stuff, if it doesn't happen anymore, I don't care. I have a great life. Mm-hmm. Like, I really don't need to be hustling in the game of Hollywood. Like, I don't even, like, it's fun, and it's like, it brings me back to the old days, you know, like being around stuff, fun, like being in Hollywood and stuff. But to be honest, without having that base and that grounding, being grounded in what's real, without having that, I didn't want to be a part of any of this fame, and that's just the reality.
Was there a moment that like made you sort of distrust fame, or did you already come into it with that sort of like, oh, this is
I
a
already
fleeting...
knew, because we're all gonna die. Like, and all I cared about was living a life where I was a good person, and all those around me felt good about the name, my name, and who I was, and what I
Well, your
represented.
name sucks. That's why we call you Dange.
No, I'm just saying, like you know, and that's the truth.
Yeah. All right.
so where can they buy the merch?
Well, we haven't figured that out yet, but I mean,
Yeah, how did you lose your own website to the Russian hackers? And
man,
did you
I don't know.
really
The Russian hackers got in, and they were like, we're determined to get dangerehren.com. So sooner or later, we'll be able to facilitate merch on that. Hopefully, if the Russian hackers will let it go for less than $100,000. So we're doing a Venmo to get me my .com back. If you want a Venmo at
No. It's called Venmo.
Venmo, V-I-N-Mo. Yeah.
Venmo.
Venmo. Yeah.
All right, dude. Well,
So-
fuck, man. I do believe strongly that we're gonna get your merch operation up and running.
Yeah.
I do think that you're
For sure.
I think you're a good person. I think you're a great guy. I think you've got a really healthy view on the world and your role in it. You know, I think that we should take advantage of the moment that we're about to have. And,
For sure. For
you
sure.
know, and I love the you know, we can do this together, man. It's fucking cool, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, we love you. I've had some great talks with you. I love you a lot.
Well, here's what I would like to say in the end of all this in
Good.
this awesome wild ride van is that you asked how I maintained being a somewhat normal, real person, and it literally goes back to me being a child growing up in a mortuary. And you asked, well, what are the benefits of that? It was very beneficial. It opened up my eyes. If let's say everybody at the age of 18 has to experience death so they can appreciate their life, I think that's a great thing. But I experienced it at a very young age. And it was very impactful to my whole existence. And I just think that we don't have a lot of time on Earth. Like, we don't. Like, 80 years isn't a long time. 100 years ain't. No, there's never, and you don't know when it's going to end. But I can tell you that's in my experience when I've died and I survived something where DMT was released in my brain and I experienced death but survived, and the life flashed everything. And then at the end, I was able to let go, surely dying, of my life on this planet because of being at peace with my decisions and the things I've done and who I am. And that is, I think, the most powerful thing and the most important thing that we all need to think about and really consider, because it can come like that.
How'd you your heart stopped?
No, I went skydiving, and dude, I went skydiving for the first time and only time, and they partnered me up with this dude named Steveo. I'm not even kidding. And he was a dreaded kid, like in his 20s, and I went skydiving tandem, and the parachute didn't open correctly, and so we went into this G-force spiral, and then he cut the parachute, and then I was falling, and that was it as far as I was concerned, and I had no control over that DMT releasing in my brain. It just did. It totally did, and that was it. We were free falling to death, and he was screaming too, and I'm like, we're gonna die, and poof, it popped. And you know, that is one time, and I've had it another time, not as severe, and I realized these things. It's just really need to, like, you know,
That's crazy.
be
Yeah,
thoughtful of the existence.
There's a talk given by Alan Watts where he was like, one of the best things you can do in life is contemplate death for a long time, because it's a similar thing where it's like pouring manure all over your brain, because then flowers start to spring from it. And I always kind of really like that.
Yeah, that
dude.
is good.
I mean, it's a Western society thing, man. People just don't want to fucking think about it. They don't want to think. It's much better to think about it so that you can have lived your life deliberately.
Exactly.
The way that you want to fucking
Exactly.
do it, dude.
Sure.
Like, you didn't just let things happen to you. You were good.
Let's go party, dude.
Let's go party!
Yeah, dude. Love you, man.
Hey,
I
dude,
love you
sure, I
guys, too.
really
Yeah,
love
thanks
you,
for doing
bro.
this, man.
I'm fucking keeping it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, fucking
Cool.
right on. And
Later.
follow Dange on Instagram.
Yeah, at Danger Ehren.
And buy his merch at?
Well, we're going to be going to hopefully dangerehren.com, and we
if
can
you
get
have
that tight
website,
box.
give it back.
Yeah, give me my website back, dogs. I'm back in the game.
Yeah, dude.
Love you, dude.
Yeah, that was fun.